Thom Hartmann here on the news. You need to know this. One day after the Supreme Court struck down nearly the entirety of Arizona's controversial anti-immigration law, SB 1070, prompting a blatant political attack against the president by Supreme Court Justice Anthony Scalia, one of the top-ranking Republicans in the Senate, Jon Kyl, is suggesting President Obama could be impeached over his handling of immigration enforcement. Appearing on Conservative Talk Radio, Senator Kyl said the president's executive decision to stop deporting undocumented students could lead Congress to bring criminal charges against President Obama for dereliction of duty. Kyl went on to say, impeachment is always a possibility. What Kyl fails to recognize is that every single president, including and since Ronald Reagan, has selectively enforced immigration policy because the government doesn't have enough resources to deport all 12 million undocumented immigrants. Yet there was never talk of impeaching Reagan or Bush or Clinton or Bush. Well, Clinton, but not for that. But considering Republicans are hell-bent on politically hitting the White House rather than fixing the economy, as evidenced by the latest contempt of Congress vote against Attorney General Holder, this latest threat shouldn't be too much of a surprise at all. In Screwed News, if you want to see a booming middle class, don't bother looking around the United States. Check out China. According to a new report by the China Market Research Group, the average annual disposable income for a Chinese family has quadrupled over the last 10 years and increased by tenfold since 1980. The average family of three is now taking home $9,000 a year. Now, that might not sound a lot compared to U.S. standards, but the price of living is far less in China. For example, as CNN reports, the average city resident can afford to rent a 700-square-foot apartment, spend 35% of their income on food, and still put 20% aside for savings. Few use credit cards, and a typical cell phone bill is around $10 a month, $20 a month for an iPhone. While the average income for the Chinese is rapidly increasing, the average income for the bottom 90% of Americans has actually declined since 2000. Not to mention that in just 3 short years, China is expected to surpass the United States as the world's largest economy. Clearly, 30 years of Reaganomics has not only ruined our nation's middle class, but it's also ruined our nation's standing in the global economy altogether. In the best of the rest of the news, with the Supreme Court's decision looming, progressives across the nation are organizing to take advantage of a possible ruling against Obamacare. Several progressive groups, including National Nurses United and the Progressive Change Campaign Committee, are arguing that a Supreme Court strikedown of Obamacare could renew hope for a national single-payer system like Medicare for All. As Adam Green, the co-founder of the PCCC, told TPM, if the Supreme Court opens the door for Democrats to campaign in 2012 on Medicare for All, and Republicans are left campaigning on Paul Ryan's plan to end Medicare, that clean contrast could be the game changer that gives Democrats a clean sweep in November. He's right. Even though we could be days away from one of the most politically motivated Supreme Court decisions in history, it could be just the thing needed to bring about truly revolutionary healthcare reform in the United States. Anti-austerity protests have now moved from Europe to Africa. For the last 9 days, a student-led movement has taken to the streets of Sudan to protest against austerity measures that include government layoffs, tax hikes on working people, and cutbacks in fuel subsidies. The government of Sudan claims austerity is needed to resolve the nation's financial problems, and Sudanese police have responded to the protests with a violent crackdown using batons and tear gas and detaining several people. Simple truth is, no matter what continent you're on, no matter what time it is, no matter how poor the economy is, austerity doesn't work. Never has, never will, and the people know it. Pay no attention to Republican talking points. Income taxes actually stimulate economic growth. A study just released by the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy found that over the last 10 years, the states with the highest income tax rates economically outperformed states with no income taxes at all. As Bloomberg News reported on the study, quote, the 9 states with the highest personal income taxes on residents outperformed or kept pace on average with the 9 that didn't tax the residents' income, end quote. While median household income has declined across the nation as the result of the Bush Great Recession, income drops have been substantially lower in states with high income tax rates. On average, high-rate states saw a 0.7% drop in median household income, but states with no income tax saw a much larger 3.5% drop in household income. Progressive income taxes are a very important part of a balanced economy and a healthy middle class. Time to roll back the Reagan tax cuts and make the Romney super-rich pay their fair share again. It'll be good for the economy. And finally, it might be wise to reconsider buying waterfront property on the east coast of the United States. A new report by the U.S. Geological Survey finds that sea levels are rising 4 times faster along the east coast of the U.S. than they are globally. This sea level rise will increase the likelihood of flooding and high-intensity storms in major cities along the East Coast, like New York, Boston, and even here in Washington, D.C. But that's just the start of it. The International Energy Agency is warning that if carbon emissions continue increasing at their current rate, then global temperatures will increase by 6 degrees Celsius by 2100, killing off most of the animals on the planet and threatening the survival of the entire human species. The writing is on the wall. Our planet and our species are in danger. Unfortunately, Republicans in Congress continue to plug their ears and close their eyes in the face of growing climate change evidence, just as their oil baron campaign donors pay them to do. And that's the way it is today, Tuesday, June 26, 2012. I'm Thom Hartmann on the News.